Hi there! Time for a new video. And this time it's about something you might find stressful if you're new into triathlon and Ironman in specific. And that would be the rules. Because Ironman comes with a lot of rules. It might seem like, at least in the beginning. And it might be quite stressful if you're quite new and if you haven't done it before. I mean, you might think that it should be enough with all the training, like the swimming, open water, cold waters, dark waters, black waters, long rides, and the run, and a marathon run. And then you have on top of that all the rules you have to follow, not to be disqualified or get penalties. But I will help you. If you're a rookie, or if you're new into this one, I have 5 rules that will help you get through most of it, I would say. In that way, you can relax a bit on the rules, or you don't have to read all the rules, because I read all the rules yesterday. The PDF for Ironman with the rules for 2026, it's 35 pages of rules. But let me give you my 5 top lists here of the rules you should follow and why you should follow it. Because there are good reasons for these rules, and mainly it's because of safety. And also Ironman or triathlon, that's a sport you should do on your own. So you should be able to do it on your own, and that's also why you shouldn't need outside assistance or drafting or other people's help, or think that could be regarded as cheating. But let's start with rule number 1. And that's a rule that can actually ruin your race before you even start it. So after you have finished the swim, you get your blue bag, and in the blue bag you have your bike gear. And among those things, you have your helmet. And rule number 1 is buckle up your helmet before touching your bike. So before you even touch your bike, I think in the rules it actually states taking off your bike from the rack itself. But to make it simple, before you even touch your bike, make sure you have buckled your helmet correctly. Because that can actually cause you a disqualification if you don't follow that. You would probably get a warning and correct it, and that way you can make it. But just make sure to, as soon as you take out your helmet from your blue bike, your blue gear bag, just put it on, buckle it up, and then you're good to go. That's rule number 1, very important one. Rule number 2, that's out on the bike. And this is about drafting. If you're new to cycling or triathlon, drafting is when you are staying behind another cyclist and using their drag to make it easier for you. If you haven't tried it, it's very common in road racing, where you stay very close to the cyclist in front of you to allow that person or that group to take the wind, to make it a lot easier. I've seen figures that can make it like 30, at least 30% easier than going on your own. Especially if you're going towards the wind, it's especially noticeable. But in triathlon, we should go on the bike on our own, and there are really good reasons for that. And one of the biggest reasons is safety, of course. So, for example, if you are on a road bike, you have access to your brakes all the time. Wherever you have your hands on your handle, you have access to the brakes, and you can do micro adjustments. If the cyclist ahead of you does something that slows him down, you can micro adjust and adjust your own speed. in a very precise way. But usually when you're in triathlon, you have these bar ends where you stay, and you only have to make it more aerodynamic. And if you're new, you might not have an triathlon bike, but you maybe have mounted aero bars on your race bike. And it's the same in that way. Out on the bars, you don't have access to your brakes, and you can't make these micro adjustments. Hence, you cannot cope with those small changes in speed from the cyclists ahead of you, which can make it really, really dangerous if someone brakes and you don't notice it. So the regulation is that you have to keep a clearance of 12 meters from the front of your front wheel to the back of the cyclist, from the back wheel of the cyclist in front of you. 12 meters. That's about 6 full bike length of clearance between you and the cyclist ahead of you. It's quite hard, so you should probably measure out 12 meters just to get an idea of how far that actually is, just to have an idea. And as I said, this is for your safety, for my safety, everybody's safety out on the road. So we really want to follow this rule, I think. The rules are as this. As soon as you enter, for example, if you drive up to a cyclist or a pack of cyclists that are slower than you, and you get into this, what is called drafting zone, the 12 meters, you have 25 seconds to pass the cyclist ahead of you. So 25 seconds. And as soon as you have started taking over the cyclist, you have to finish that. You can actually not fall back, because then it will be regarded as drafting as well. Whenever you have reached, your front wheel is aligned with the cyclist ahead of you, it's that cyclist, the overtaken cyclist, responsibility to fall back and fall out of the drafting zone. So then you're good to go, then you're cleared. But that's the drafting. And it's really important because it's about safety. And I should also say that sometimes it can be a bit congested out on the streets, especially, for example, in the beginning, when a lot of people are going out from transition area and it may be slow in the beginning, it can chunk up and be a bit congested. And also if it's a bit uphill or something like that. But just make sure to show your intention. Like stay back, maybe stay up on the bars instead of laying down trying to push. Just to make sure you show your attention to the referees. These are called the one who hand out the penalties. These referees, they are often referred to as race officials or race marshals. And that's the one handing out the penalties. And the penalties for drafting is a blue card, and that equals 3 minutes of a time penalty, where you have to enter in the next penalty tent, get off your bike and stay there for 3 minutes. These race officials, the referees, they are out on the bike, cruising the course, and they are on motorbikes, staying behind another, or someone is driving the motorbike, and they are on the back of the motorbike watching the cyclists. And usually they drive up to a pack where they see people are drafting, or where there are multiple people, and then they whistle. Most often they just shout to people to split up, separate, make sure to keep the drafting zone. And if they do come up to you and shout like that, just make sure to fall back I mean, do everything that that can increase the distance. It will not affect your time in a drastic manner. So just make sure to follow the rules. If you're given a blue card, they will show you a blue card and they will shout it to you. So you make sure you have been given a blue card, and they will note your BIM number. And then it's your responsibility to, when you get to the next penalty tent, get off your bike, say that you have been given a blue card, and serve your 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes for a full Ironman and 2 minutes for a half Ironman. So, might sound complicated, but just stay clear. 12 meters, make sure to follow that rules. It's for safety. So that was a long ramble about the drafting, but I think it's really important, and it's not very hard to follow. So just make sure to do that. So next rule number 3, that's littering. And littering is prohibited. There are, just have to make sure. Littering is prohibited out on the bike, where it's maybe hardest to keep up with it. It's not hard, but every 30 kilometers or so, depending on the event, that's event specific, there are these energy stations where you get new bottles and energy. And it's actually so that before each energy station there is a littering zone, and there it's okay to just throw off your litter, your like waste bottles, your empty bottles, and your trash from your gels and whatever you have. You can just throw it to the side. There is usually a net on your right side. You just throw it in there, and there are people collecting it. And then at the end of the station there is another littering station, and that's the only 2 places where you should throw your stuff. And also, intentional littering can actually cause you a disqualification. So just make sure to follow. It's very easy. If you have had a gel and you have passed the station, just put it up your trousers, or throw it down your race gear or whatever. It's quite easy to just keep it. It's actually the same on the run, but the stations are much closer there, usually about 3 kilometers. Then you have like stations where you can throw off litter. That was a bit shorter on the rule number 3, but it's important but very easy to maintain. Rule number 4, that would be the outside assistance. And outside assistance in triathlon Ironman is prohibited. Outside assistance can be of multiple variations. For example, it's not allowed to take to be handed like energy from your friends and family, or even spare parts. For example, inner tube, they cannot hand you inner tubes or whatever, or they cannot help you change tire or a tube out on the. So even if you get a puncture or with that flat tire, you have to handle it yourself. If there are bike mechanics on the course, they can help you, but you're not allowed to use outside assistance, and that would be from other people not racing or participating in the race. I think it was so that even you couldn't get help before from people in the race, other participants, but that's not how it's stated now in the rules. So as long as they don't, as long as they can continue their race, they are actually allowed to help you. They are even allowed to hand you like inner tubes or CO2 cartridges, these CO2 bottles. That's easier. If you need to fill up your tire. But just to be on the safe side, do it on your own. Be sure to know how to replace inner tube and do basic mechanics on your bike. Or if you really need assistance, there are very often on many races, I think it's called ambulating mechanics that are out on the bike course. But it might take some time before some of those shows up and can help you. What is important is that you are not allowed to take assistance from another participant that makes that athlete not able to finish their race. So you can't, for example, say that you can't take the whole bike from another or accept a whole bike from another athlete, but that would be a rare case, or a whole wheel or whatever that might be. Anyway, that was rule number 4, and that was about outside assistance. Rule number 5, that is prohibited to use any form of headphones or audio devices on the race, which might sound strange, but if you're used to running like marathon, many people run with music, and I always do. Not music, but maybe I listen to audiobooks when I'm out on a run or something like that. But a lot of people use headphones and they listen to music and stuff to have during these long rides and runs. But on Ironman, it's totally prohibited, and also for good reasons, because it's also for safety reasons. You need to be able to hear what other fellow athletes are saying, or if there's like a referee talking to you or anything like that. And it can actually cause a disqualification as well. So don't bring your headphones or any form of audio device for the race. Instead, make sure to enjoy the race. Think about all the training you have done and to prepare yourself for this race. Just enjoy being able to participate in a race like that, because not everyone is as lucky as you are, or fortunate to be able to have a body able to participate in an Ironman. So keep the headphones and audio devices and music for your training or other races, but on Ironman, make sure they stay at home. Don't bring them, don't risk your race just because you want to listen to music. Instead, enjoy the race, get the most out of it, and you will be good. So that was my 5 top rules that will help you and reduce your stress. So rule number 1, just a quick recap: buckle up your helmet before you touch your bike. Rule number 2, do not draft. Rule number 3, do not litter. Don't throw your waste away in other places than the allowed littering places. Rule number 4, don't accept any outside assistance. And rule number 5, don't use any headphones or any type of audio devices for the race. I think there are other rules, of course, but if you keep to these, I would say these are some of the most important rules. Before each race, there is like an athlete guide, a long PDF, where you have all the information about the race courses, and also there are descriptions of the rules most of them, most comments. And sometimes there are variations of the rules for depending on the race where they are. So make sure to scan or read through the athlete guide before each race. I think it's a good preparation for the race. It makes you fire up as well. And also you will be sure to not break any of these rules. And also as a guidance, there are these athlete briefings before each race, and I think it's really good to be there. It's usually about 1 hour, and then they talk about the race itself. If there are any specific things that have come up, or there might be, for example, they have pointed out difficult parts on the route, like narrow spaces or places where it's illegal to pass other cyclists or something. So it's really helpful to be on those race briefs. And I think they are actually mandatory. So, and if it's your first race, it's also really fun to be there, because you get to feel the tension of all athletes participating in the race. So make sure to join those race briefs. But that was it for this video. My top 5 rules that you should know and don't have to stress about, because they are all good and for you and for yours and my safety. All right, that's it for this time. See you next time. Bye.